News Channel 7. Time for 7 First Alert weather.
On a positive note, beautiful Tuesday afternoon, right? I hope you're enjoying it anyway. Temperatures today, we're in the 90s. We're in above 100 degrees. And just a kind of a note about what's coming up this Sunday. I've seen that as high as, and I'll show you here, so you have no surprises, 105, 106 degrees. Could be one of the hottest days of the year from what I can see, even as we look ahead over the next few weeks. But let's talk about what we have outside right now. Kind of a beautiful evening as you look at this. And for the evening, expect those temperatures be mainly in the 80s. That's for most of the night. And then they'll drop off into the 70s. And eventually for tomorrow morning, there's that 62, which is what we had this morning. So that means you get a little brief break through there, 6 to 9 o'clock of some cooler temperatures if you want to have an early morning walk. 93 degrees for the high in Boise today, 96 the high in Ontario. Most mountain locations had temperatures in the 70s. We're having a little trouble with the spot up here in McCall with the temperature. Hopefully we're going to have that worked out soon to get you more of an accurate temperature there. Now, isn't this one map that just shows around Boise area? This is about as clear as can be. It just looks like a background map with nothing on it, and essentially that's what it is. We've got to find some clouds here, so let's move up to the northwest. Most of the northwest is basically clear, and mainly the pattern that we have is as these storms develop out here to the west, they bring up this high pressure ridge over the area, and then eventually the storms come in over the north and down into Montana, as you see through here. So we have the temperature as the ridge builds, getting up to the 100, 103 degrees like we had over the weekend. And then afterwards it drops down into the lower to the mid 90s as these storms move to the north. That pattern appears like it's going to continue here for the next several days, but we're still looking at one of the hottest days coming up on Sunday as we get right in the middle of that ridge. It's a possibility. I've seen it as high as 106 on Sunday. This one shows a 105. We'll show you our 7-day forecast, which is around a 103 again. But I'm just showing you what the possibilities are. And you do have 3 days of temperatures above 100 degrees. Now, you remember over the past few summers, we've talked about 12 and 18 days and even longer stretches with these temperatures like this. But we have the 3 days and then it comes back down again just because of that pattern I was talking about. And then we start to see it heating back up more toward the end of next week. So we're going to be doing this as we move through most of the month of July. And it appears that the last week of July, it's a long shot that I say this, but the last week of July could be our hottest week. Either that or the first week getting into August, where we could be seeing a little more sustained temperatures up there around 100 degrees. So here are your temperatures for tomorrow. You see temperatures into the lower to the mid 90s around the Magic Valley. Most of your central mountains will have temperatures in the lower to the mid 80s. Over here to the western mountains, McCall tomorrow at 81. Cascade will have the high of 84 degrees. Down here in valley locations, there's your highs, getting pretty close to 100. It's a little farther west of us, but then you see the 96 for Boise and the 96 degrees for the high temperature in Meridian. Here's a look at the next 7 days. Temperatures in the 90s, getting up hot over the weekend. Like I said, at least 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's getting hot for me. Temperatures up around 100 before they drop again. Back in just a moment.